Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. This is Tabby Boy, and back there is Cassie. I'm gonna put him down. You're gonna watch him run. Oh, so take a look at my makeup, would you? I am going to attempt to do a tutorial for this. I'm gonna give a better look. I think the lighting, for some reason, is really good up against this wall. Well, I am going to show you how I did this, but we have a little bit of a challenge, or, well, not by when I say we, I mean me. The palette that I'm going to be using is the ColourPop Lilac You A Lot palette. And the problem is, normally with these palettes, they have names for all the colors. But unfortunately, this tipped out of my hand. I didn't drop this, but the pans all fell out. And I took a look at a picture that somebody had posted of the palette on social media, but unfortunately I did not put the colors where they go. This is what this palette looks like right now, but these are not where all the colors go. Well, first of all, let me let the cat out so that he doesn't do something bad. Do you want to go someplace? Here, Tabby boy. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to have to show you and describe the colors, but the names will be useless. So, but that is just the way it is. So, I'm going to move these out of the way so that nothing gets knocked down when I move this desk. Oh, and you know what? I don't even know how I'm going to do that with this lamp right here. It's going to be very dangerous. Well, not dangerous, risky. I don't want to knock this over. But I think it will be easier, and you'll get a better look at the colors and the makeup if I move this stand-up desk back. So, bear with me while I try to do just that. And you know what? I'm going to move this computer first because I sure don't want it to fall. If it does, I will cry. Okay. It's back. And you know what? I might not be able to move the standing desk back because I realized something. I have my guitar tied up to that lamp so that it doesn't wiggle around. And I honestly cannot move this desk any further back. So we're just going to have to make do the best we can. First thing, of course, I have to tie my hair back. So now that thing that I did with the palette, I just snagged my nail. And I have to be really careful because I don't think I have an emery board with me. And the last thing I want to do is scratch my face bloody or break my hair off or anything like that. So I was actually worried that I wouldn't be able to use this palette for any more tutorials since I can't say for sure the name of the colors. But look at all the makeup palettes that don't have names for the colors, and people have no problem doing tutorials with them, so everything should be fine. I am going to take the oil and make my mess. Now, the time right now is 2:38 a.m. This is the second video that I filmed this evening. I hope that our dear friendly neighbors don't act up again tonight. I mean, maybe it's amusing when I have to open up the window and yell at people, but it gets tiresome. And there are some people that are too stupid to realize that I'm mad at them, and they're having the nerve to try and talk to me. And this one particular person I'm thinking of, I don't know if she is a drug dealer or if she's a pimp or what, but if she can't figure out that I'm mad at her because last month when I had the gall apparently to complain that it was 4 in the morning and people didn't need to be yelling and screaming right out my bedroom window, and when I confronted her, she actually physically pushed me across the street. I mean, she literally pushed me. You know, you don't lay your hand on somebody, and granted, a push is not the same thing as a punch, but still. And maybe she forgot all about it, but I sure didn't. I would think that if I would have done something like that to her, she would have been the first person to voice extreme umbrage. You know, there's certain people that will say, "Don't touch me," as if there's something very sacred about you can't touch them, like they're special. And she didn't like the fact that I referred to her and her people as you guys. She implied that saying you guys is racist somehow. Well, how is the term you guys racist? What does that have to do with describing somebody's heritage? I call everybody you guys. It's funny, people will do anything and they will say anything to take the blame and the attention off of what they're doing. And there seem to be lots of people that seem to think nothing of yelling and screaming at 4 o'clock in the morning, not caring about the people that are just trying to sleep and enjoy some kind of peace. You know, I've had it up to here with people accusing every little thing of racism when that absolutely has nothing to do with it. People, I think, want to deflect from their own guilt for whatever. And it's so much easier to shut a conversation down by accusing somebody of something that's really despicable. Because no matter what you say, you can't change a person's mind and you can't change a person's heart. Okay, I gotta fix this a little bit. This is actually a gray pencil I'm using on my eyebrows. It's a little weird and maybe it's a little harsh. Then again, my makeup is harsh and I like it that way, so. Alright, the first thing I want to do is touch up my foundation. It's almost impossible not to smear it when you do something like that. I did a color test with both the Sassy and Chic BB cream and their moisturizing foundation, and I found out that they seem to be the exact same thing. I'm using the color light. Each of these only comes in a light, medium, and dark. And one looks absolutely the same as the other. And so I remember I bought the BB cream first. I didn't want to take my chances on a foundation at first because it looked like it was might be a little on the dark side. And to be honest, I think that this particular foundation or slash BB cream, I think that they oxidize more than other brands because it does seem to turn on me after a while. And I prefer my foundation to be as pale as possible because, well, then it will match me. And I don't know if the oxidation is partly caused by all the layers of skincare that I wear underneath it, and then the greasy sunblock, but I'm not about to curtail my skincare just because it might not work with one of my makeup products. Boy, I hear an awful lot of activity out there. It sounds like a weekend, and this is only a Wednesday night. Okay, does that look okay? Okay, the first thing we're going to do, there is one color that is not out of this. I always tend to need a white kind of color for my brow bone. So with that, I am using the palette. This is called Shine Brighter. This is from Ulta Beauty. This was their Christmas offering. And I am going to find a nice, appropriately shaped brush for this. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and use one of the Wet n Wild so-called crease brushes. I still don't know why they call it crease brush when it's obviously too thick to be used for the crease. I'm going to dip that into the frosty white color. I believe this color is called Pearl. And here I'm only going to get the first ½ inch of space between the eyebrow and the rest of the eyelid. This doesn't even seem like it's very opaque. So I'm going to take another pass at it. When I did my makeup earlier today, I actually did not bother with any eyeliner or mascara, partly because it was windy and I'm sick and tired of my watery eyes making my mascara smudge and it comes off on my eyelid, and that just gets really old after a while. Now we dip into this. Please, if you get palettes from ColourPop, be very careful with the packaging. I would highly recommend you get one of those rubber bands like you use for produce. Let me see if I can get my hand on one conveniently. If you use a rubber band, here, like the one that's on here, seal them up with rubber bands, because from my experience, these pans fit in really loose and they'll tumble out on you. And then if you don't have a color chart showing exactly where they go, you're not going to put them where they belong. So these are very fragile. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, see, I didn't diagram this because the colors are all different. All right. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to dip into, there is a pale, see, I can't describe them for you. I have to actually show them to you. The names don't mean anything. There is a very frosty, pink-looking lavender color. I'm going to use the B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5, big fluffy brush. And I am going to use this shade here that's very pale and very frosty. And I am going to just get above the crease from the corner to about half. And I'm going to repeat this on the other side. And I'm going to hope that this even shows up. You know, maybe I should put this up here. It might make it a little bit easier to see. And I'm going to make a pass again. Now you want to keep this lid free of product so that it is still sticky enough to show up the other colors we're going to use. This brush here, I am going to dip into a very similar color. See, I can't, if I tilt this anymore, the shadows are going to fall onto my computer and I'm going to be very upset. But can you see this color here? It's a darker but very iridescent pink lavender color. And I am using the number 5. And I'm going to get a good coating on it. And I am going to go over. So this is kind of, I guess you could say it's a crease, but I think it's a little bit above. Now, go ahead over on the other side. Next thing we're going to do is going to use this brush here is a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 9. This is a packing brush. And I am going to use it. There is a very intense purple here. And it's a matte shade. And it's this one here. And I am going to tap this brush on both sides. And I'm going to apply it in the crease, not all the way over, but from the middle and I'm not going to blend it much now because I'm going to blend it afterward. I'm going to do it on the other side. My cat's meowing. Excuse me a second. I want to find out what's up with him. What's going on? Come on. Come on. Oh, sorry about that. My cat's being a lunatic. Okay, I want to make this a little bit more symmetrical because I know this looks really off. If this looks too weird, we're going to do blending afterwards, so don't freak out. I can't believe I dropped that on the ground. I'm going to have to get another one. Alright, now we're going to dip into the color just below that on this palette, so it could be anywhere. There is a color that's similar, it's a little bit more on the plum side, and I'm going to use the Studio Pro number 6 brush. It's bigger than the other brush was, and I am going to do this, and I'm going to join this at an angle. Ball round, and then go up. Now, got to find another brush. Oh. I think I can use this one. This is a Wet n Wild. There are two brushes that are very similar. One's considered small, one's considered large. But they're good for packing, and you can do a little bit of blending also. I am going to use this color here. And I'm going to get a good coating on this brush. And I'm going to apply it on the inner lid. And onto the second eye. Now, let's get a blending brush. And this is the B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. And with this, we are just going to blend some of the harshness of the crease color. And if it gets a lot of shadow on this brush itself, clean it off on your hand. Then where the edges are too harsh, just brush a little. And I will definitely wipe some more off, maybe even on a tissue. You know what? I think it's good to get some more white on the brow bone. And that's what I'm going to do. One thing, these colors are so similar that you have to really get a good look at your brushes to make sure of what color you're using. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'll get back to that brush that you used, that plum looking color. And you want to make sure that both eyes match. And feel free to touch up either one so that they match. Now, why do I get the feeling that this looks a little bit different than the first look that I did? See, that's the thing, is that it's really hard to diagram when you don't have names. But I took pictures before I did this, so. Now I have to get another brush out because one of my brushes I dropped on the ground, and I'm sure the heck not going to touch that to my face until I get it washed. I'm going to go back into the color that I used on my crease, and I'm going to use a B&H Cosmetics, I think it's a V7. V stands for vegan, and I'm going to use the same color that I used on my crease. And first I'm going to intensify that a little bit. Then I'm going to apply some to the lower lash line. And I'm going to get some of this color here in the inner corner, at least this area here. Give it kind of a highlight effect. Now, I want to lighten up this area so that there's more contrast with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip into this color up here with the V&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5 brush. Nice big fluffy brush. And I am going to just lighten this up a little bit. And this, I didn't do this in the original look, but I feel I need to do something to define this crease here. So I'm going to use a Vivace brush, and I'm going to dip into this matte color here that looks almost flesh tone. It's actually a kind of lavender, but I'm going to just accentuate the crease in the inner corner here. And the same with the other side. Now time for mascara. And like I've been using, I am breaking out the Ulta Beauty Bold Ambition with the really weird brush. I really recommend that if you get these palettes, invest in some crazy glue, because you're going to need it. Make sure you know where the colors go. Then, if I were you, put some crazy glue underneath the pans, in between the pan and the magnets, so that you don't lose your eyeshadows. And this is the 4th of these palettes that I've had issues with. And even allowing for a little bit of clumsiness on my part. You think of the money that you spend on this stuff. And I'm not having this happen with other products. Oh, I didn't see this. Oh, I'm glad I have oil. Of course, since I did that, I'm going to have to get a foundation out. And there's another ghetto fight going on right now. I'm telling you. And I think of so many things that I could do to react, but they'd all get me thrown in jail. So, but it never ceases to amaze me and disgust me that so many people think that it's okay to carry on like that at all hours of the night when people are just trying to sleep. And I find it hard to imagine that a person can actually not care about bothering other people. And they get offended if you confront them. Okay, I'm going to bring this up against the wall, so see if this looks... You know what? Looks like I need to put a little bit more on the right side. And I still have this box that my computer is balanced on. I have to be very careful. Alright, time for some blush. And I think I am going to probably should use the plum that I've been using, or nah, I should use one of my favorites. This is an HIP, High Intensity Pigments by L'Oreal, and the color is called Elated, and it's quite a stunning color and easy to put on with your finger. Yeah, I actually went out of the house with no cheek color today, no highlighter. I'll put that on now. And there wasn't a specific reason not to wear it earlier. It was just laziness on my part. I figured all I was going was to Dollar Tree and not much else. Why do I get the feeling that there's more eyeshadow on this side than there is on this side? Feel free to correct when you see a color is uneven. For my highlighter, I'm going to use B&H Cosmetics Black Light Highlight. And I am going to use this color here called Illusion. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger. I should show you the lipstick that I'm wearing, if I can even access it. Oh, why I didn't set it aside ahead of time, I don't know. So maybe I can't show you the lipstick that I was wearing. Usually I put things right here, and guess what? I didn't even write down what it was or anything. And you watch, as soon as I'm done filming this, then I'll see it and I'll say, oh damn, that was the lipstick that I wore. Yeah, I didn't set it down where I can see it. Darn. Nope. I can't believe. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Wait a minute. No. And you know what it is I'm also stressed out by the people and their noise that they're making outside. The latest video I did a couple of days ago, there was a part of my eye makeup that involved white glitter. And I was so keyed up by the people making noise out underneath my door, underneath my window, that I forgot that part of the makeup and everything. Yeah, I can't find the lipstick that I had been wearing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Usually I put it right here so that I can reference it, and I didn't do it that time. So, and I don't even have the bag of purple lipsticks. Wait a minute. Yes, I do. But I can't show you the lipstick that I'm actually wearing. But, you know what? I'll get one that's very similar to it. Let's use the Wet n Wild Fuchsia with Blue Pearl. That seems pretty close to the kind of color that I was wearing. Okay, you know what? I remember the color that I was wearing. The actual color that I was wearing, it's very similar to this, is B&H Cosmetics. Oh God, what's the color? Vixen. It's very, very close to this. And another color that's very close to this is Magenta Madness by Milani. That is very similar. And I'm on my third tube of that. And that is so close to this. I'll show you. Actually, you know what? They're more different than I thought. But anyway, another great color. So, that is the look. That Lilac You A Lot palette is quite stunning. If you love purple, you'll love that palette. There. Now, let's bring this up against the wall where the light seems to really be perfect. What do you think? If you haven't already and you like purple, get yourself a ColourPop Lilac You A Lot palette. You have a lot of purples and lavenders with it, and it's quite a stunning palette. Of course, if you were a kitty, you wouldn't need makeup. Yes, Cassie. Cassie! That's my little Cassie. Alright, Cassie. Come here. Everybody wants to see you. Come here. Oh, yes, it's that time. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, and you like my pussycats, I would love to have you subscribe. I make 3 new videos a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I try to feature my kitties because I know that there's a lot of kitty lovers out there. So, subscribe to me or watch me and my cats. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.